Yeah, sure. So, okay, yeah. So I have been working with a .NET profile for the last 10 years. It is
Mm-hmm.
mostly backend development. Now
Okay.
I've also contributed to the cloud, but I wanted to explore more.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with microservices, web applications, database, NoSQL, Elasticsearch, and with
Okay.
I've worked with Azure Functions and block storages. But
Mm-hmm.
it is just the consumption that I have done. I have not written any of the applications, and I wanted to learn, so I've joined this session.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, got it right. Okay, so I'll introduce myself. Like I'm Vinayaka. So currently working as a senior .NET developer, like I'm more like a senior Azure developer. Uh, so I have an experience of actually not that much of 10 years. Like I have a 4.5 years of experience. So from the beginning, I'll be working as a Azure developer only. So I started as an intern. Like I started journey with the Azure cloud. I have an experience of Google Cloud also, AWS also. I'm a starting journey is like a cloud developer. So I can give you like regarding this what are the uh, things exploration you need to do to become a Azure developer. So we can go ahead with that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I can
Okay.
turn on the video because I don't have that much of network. I'm connected via mobile.
Uh, sure, no problem. Like, can you see clearly? Like, I'll going to
Yeah, yeah,
share the screen.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, okay. So 1 second. Uh, uh, So can you see the screen?
Just a minute.
Okay, so I'll give the brief intro. Like this actually Azure, this is certification is it 204. Like who are the person? Okay, the person who want to interested into learn cloud technologies like most likely Azure cloud. Okay, so in that scenario, like you need to start with this exam actually is at 204. This contains overall brief explanation about all the uh, instruments in which is for example see.
Vinayak, sorry to interrupt you. I think
Uh,
we're not able to see your screen.
Okay, not able to see the screen, huh? Okay, so yeah. Now,
Yeah, now it's going to start. Yes, started.
yeah. So prerequisites is nothing like you any fresher, any knowledge of any coding language that person can learn the Azure. So that is pretty sure like you have 10 years of experience. That is no problem. So actually the Azure is divided into 5 parts. Okay, so basically Azure like you already knew I think like what is cloud like some environment or someone can't buy like a servers and host the environment and design the softwares for that one. So the Azure offers us a different solution in the cloud platform. Okay, so it's located in different parts of the world. So we can make use of the nearby location. So in India alone, we have a 3 different location Azure is hosted data centers. Okay, so what Azure offers, like what you need to know, become an Azure developer is to this 5. Like a Azure, which I'm explaining is a 204. It's a basic, means the exposure to all the Azure environment. Okay, whatever the Azure is there. Like if you open the portal, like I'll explain in the further classes. Like if you open the portal, you can see the lot of resources. Okay, some of the resources are located into this 5 category only. Okay, so the skill actually the exam skills actually measured means if you need to know this thing like Azure computing services are there like a computing services there are a lot of information inside that one. It contains the weightage. I'm talking about the weightage of the this certification. Okay, 25
Yeah,
to 30% of marks
yeah,
will come. Okay, it's 15 to 20% in the Azure storage department. Azure security department 20 to 25. Okay, monitor and troubleshooting 15 to like it's almost equal. Like more computing services, you want to become Azure developer. So these three, above three, okay, the computing solution, storage, and security. These are more important because you can see the weightage also because you will be day-to-day coding in the .NET. You can use the functions also. Okay, the scenario will come and you can become a cloud developer. even the Azure calls, if you pass a certain exams, they will call it Azure Cloud Developer. Okay, so weightage you understood, like 25 to 30, 15, 20, like these
Yeah.
are the 5 department. Okay,
Yeah.
first we'll go with the Azure computing solution. Okay, what is exactly computing solution is? Okay, so something you are going to compute. Okay, so some business logic, if you wrote the .NET, if you write an APIs, okay, so something is happening inside the APIs, the business logic is running and you are giving the results. And if you hosting somewhere, okay, somewhere, for example, think we are hosting inside the Azure. Okay, there are ways to host the APIs, you will learn that one. Okay, so in the future, like we have a APIM called, there we are doing the Azure management, API management. We are storing the API inside the Azure cloud, and the solution, the computing solution like VM, we are going to use like here, like how would the VM work, how the what is VMs. Like we will go with the basics. Okay, whoever it is, like go with the basic from the what is VM, why we need VM, like why can't we use our own machines and as a VM. Okay, so like we are going to teach you here the provisions of VM, how exactly what is the importance of VM, like in the real projects, how we are going to use the VM. Okay, create an ARM template based on the means what is ARM template.
Uh,
ARM template, yeah.
just a second. Rohit, can you able
Mhm.
to share screen?
Sorry,
Can you able to share? I mean, see a screen like what is sharing the?
I am trying to, but it is just saying.
Yes, the same thing. Can you, Vinayak, you can turn off your video. I think because of that, it's still loading. It's not. We are not
Mhm.
see the. What?
Okay, one second, one second. Okay. Oh, it's still loading. I think you didn't tell, like I explained a lot of things.
Y- Yeah, yeah. I thought it is just my network.
Okay, you tell like if you're now can you see, like can you see the presentation?
Yeah, just a minute.
Not yet. You can
Not
start.
yet, not yet. Can you
Okay,
share the
one.
entire screen, maybe, if that is the issue?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sharing the entire screen now. See now, like I reshared.
It
Uh,
shows like you started screen, but uh,
huh,
it's
it is
not.
still loading.
It's loaded. Can you?
Uh,
Mhm. Still loading, huh?
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so
You may have to like select first option, enter the desktop or something. Sure, right?
yeah, yeah, means I'm sharing the entire screen actually. So entire screen I'm sharing you. Okay, I'm sharing. See now, like
No,
no.
no.
Okay, so
Vinay,
what?
just a minute. Let me share my screen. Maybe
Ah,
uh, just for
okay, share the screen. Zoom. I need to download the Zoom and then I
just
joined in the Zoom web actually.
That's the issue. You cannot. You have to join as a tab only, not like as with a web.
Okay, okay. That's the reason. Huh?
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can able to see.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Vinay, there is something with respect to your screen share.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I downloaded. I'm downloading.
Skills I'll explain once again. Okay, these are the skills in the Azure. Like if you want to become Azure developer, these are the skills you need to learn. Like Azure computing solutions, Azure storage, Azure security, monitor, troubleshoot. Okay, this is the AZ 204 basic requirement. Okay, what it tells about, basically you need to learn all the things inside the Azure. It's a more like a learning in a not a deep way. It's in a understanding all the environment, but not in a deep okay, inside the what are the things inside the complicated issues. We are not actually learning. We are learning the understanding the flow. Okay, we are understanding the different components. Okay, what is VM, what exactly VM will do, how we create a VM in the Azure. Okay, so these are the things. So first we'll go with a develop with a computing solution in the Azure. What is computing solution? So what are the things, like what are the business logic we are going to write? Okay, the computation should happen. Okay, based on the computation only. So the speed of the computation, it comes about the storage of the computation. So all the things will happen. Cloud, Azure cloud will offer that solution actually. So for that we have three different things. Okay, so first we are going to learn about the VMs. So what is VM? So provisioning of VM, configure of VM, like how to access the VM. So we are going to learn that one. So VMs, basically we are going to create in a two ways. One is in the portal. In the portal we are going to create a VMs, and one more is like using the ARM template. Okay, what are the VM you created? Like for example, you may forget like how much, where you actually, what is the name of the VM, where you host it. Okay, in the project environment, like in the companies, what they will do is like there are a lot of VMs will be there. Like if something happens, disaster happened, like they will delete the VMs. So the information of the VMs will be in the ARM template. Okay, ARM template is like just a document. It holds the information of the VM actually. So the name of the VM, the size of the VM, the location of the VM, all the things. If you just run the VM, sorry, ARM template, VM will create. Okay, it will learn about ARM template also. And how to create a Docker related solution, like how to Azure, what Azure offers about the Docker. Okay, so we have Azure Container Register. Okay, so this registry holds the information of the Docker image. So we are going to learn about Docker image. Okay, how exactly create a Docker image, all those things, and how exactly you are going to host inside the registry, how you are register the container, make this containerization solution, and make use of what Azure offers. Is like this is more like a, you are registering some project you made, and you made a Docker image, and Docker image you are registering inside the container registry. Okay, that instance, whatever the instance of a Docker image will be storing in the container instance. The solution what Azure offers, this is one type of computing environment, and Kubernetes service is there. Like Azure offer Kubernetes solution also. This is something like it's a more complicated thing. Like this whole like registry image creation, it's more like a DevOps side. But developer needs to know this one, but he will not be working actually. Uh, it's a good way to understand the registry, Kubernetes, everything. And in the interviews also, they may ask about these things. It will be very useful. Uh, okay, so this part is from infrastructure as a service. Okay, the VM, these are all infrastructures. Like these are all physical things. Okay, that we are using from the cloud data center. Okay, so one more is like Azure App Service. So this what Azure App Service solution will do is, for example, you created a front end application. Okay, so and a back end application. You wrote a code in a .NET, and the front end you wrote some Angular or React, something you wrote. So the entire service and client architecture you are going to deploy somewhere. Okay, to access in the cloud. So you need to deploy it and you need to register it. Like this Azure App Service plan, what it will do, it allows the user, like a web application, if you want to create like a front end, back end, everything. So you can host in the web service. Okay, this Azure App Service plan, you need to buy the plan. We are going to learn about that one, how exactly our front end and back end is hosted in the cloud. So this all process is related to that. We are going to learn about SSL certification, APIs, of where you are hosting the APIs, how the authentication authorization will happen for the API, everything you are going to learn. Okay, so the next is Azure Functions. You already told Azure Functions, you know something inside that one. Like we are going to deep dive into it. Like what exactly Azure Function, what is the use case of Azure Functions, where we are going to use the Azure Functions, what are durable functions, like Azure Functions have the durable functions also, where in which scenario, in which circumstances we are going to use durable functions, and where the scenario we are going to use Azure normal functions. Okay, these are the things we are going to learn. Like things Azure functions always have some trigger. Okay, some trigger will be there. We are going to learn different types of triggers also, like blob trigger and the service bus trigger, HTTP trigger. There are so many triggers. We are going to learn the important triggers, which is helpful to crack the interview, and which is it's more like an understanding way. We are going with the hands-on also. We'll go. I'll also show the code, and we'll write the code together, and we'll understand from the basics. Okay, so computing service is a major thing. So 25 to 30%, you if you learn these things, you'll get to 30% of the knowledge of the Azure. Okay, this is one side. Okay, one second thing is like Azure storage. Okay, storage solution Azure is offering. So in that we have blob storage. We have four types actually. So all the four types like a blob, everything we are going to learn: blob storage, file storage, queue storage, and we are going to make you are going to make a difference between what is service bus and what is queue storage difference. We're going to identify that one. So in the cloud Cosmos DB storage, we are going to learn about the Cosmos DB. Okay, so this is actually very interesting DB. So this DB alone offers us so many solutions. Okay, there are four types. If you understood this one, like it's complicated, but it's a easy way to understand Cosmos DB. So this offers the DB alone can offer like a graph DB, document DB, and like a SQL DB or a column DB. Okay, there are so many types of DBs. So the Cosmos DB alone can offer all these four different types of DB. Like using the Cosmos, you can if you want graph DB. Okay, if you want to query with a graph architecture, nodes, relationship, like how Facebook built. They're built on Cassandra. Okay, Cassandra is a graph DB. Same the Cosmos, if you get the same thing like a Gremlin query, it's a Gremlin API is there. Like that is the API using that API, like SQL only. SQL is for RDBMS. Okay, so you can write the query. You can communicate with the database. Okay, you communicate with the database. Same thing in the Cosmos DB, we can write a SQL DB also for document DB. Okay, and for graph DB, if you are using, you can communicate with the Gremlin API. The same thing, but the writing of code is different. That's it. And this all the things related to Cosmos DB, like indexing and triggering, Cosmos storage, document DB, all the things we are going to learn here. This is a storage site. Okay, in the storage account, how to create a storage account, what is blob storage will do, and what is blob storage trigger. Okay, there are the one function we are now we are communicating with storage and the computation solutions. Okay, storage solutions help to the computation solutions. Okay, Azure function is there. Okay, we can enable the blob storage. Like any document will come inside the blob storage. Think like some image, some PNG file, some photo you insert it. So you need to do some business logic. If the photo will come, you need to trigger to the function. Okay, we have that option like blob triggered function. Okay, it's a trigger, blob triggers that particular function. We are we are going to see in the real example. We will work on those things like different types of triggers. In that solution, we are going to learn the blob. And blob, apart from blob, we have different types of blob image like hot, cool, archive storage. Like art is kind of thing. If you are, it's based on the money you are going to. The companies will think like if your image you are frequently accessing, so we are going with the art storage, because that art storage, if we with the API to get that particular image, art storage, you'll get the image faster. Okay, the money to computation happens is very less. Okay, the coal is like cool is like it's a very little time compared to hot. It's less faster. And archive is like the any historical data you are storing permanently inside in blob storage. But to communication, the computation power is more. It's required more because it's stored in some places, dump yard, and we need to get that one. It's very difficult for us. Like we are going to learn all these things, like how the cost will vary based on the hot cool archive. So we are going to learn. Are you with me, Rohit? Like I'm just explaining what we are going to
Yeah,
learn.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you are getting any doubt, like please just tell me. I
Yeah,
will
sure.
stop it. Okay. So we'll come to Azure security. So now we understood what we need to learn. Okay. Computation we learned means what we are going to learn, and the Azure storage also we understood what we are going to learn. Storage is basically storage, like all the DBs, all the Azure storage accounts we are going to learn. And the computation, all the business logic, what we code, what we host, those things we are going to learn. To both this, like this is third one, this is also very important because Azure security. Okay. So even though as a developer, we develop a solution, okay, front end, back end, everything. But the communication between client and service, it's a transient data mode. So data will transfer from front end to back end. So we need to provide a solution for that. Like maybe some bad bots will get the data or manipulate the data, the sensitive information we can leave. For that, we are going to create, we have authentication authorization solutions. Okay. We call this OAuth 2 authentication. This is the latest OpenAI OAuth 2. So we are going to learn about identity providers. Like in this, I will give the example of Google identity provider, Facebook identity provider, Amazon identity provider. Okay, so like that, you can create your own AD. Okay, Azure AD, Azure Active Directory we call. So in this, how exactly the thing, like if you somehow we log in. Okay, so username and password. How front end back end is communication happens. It not through the username and password. We are not able to communicate. Like in the backend, we always write a APIs, right? So APIs will not know the username and password. We always talk with the tokens. Okay, we call as a JWT format. Okay, JWT format will be there. Using that token, we are going to communicate. So in the front end, you logged in, like you will get an token from the identity token. So then you will communicate with the API. So what API will do, if you give the token, it will identify, is it you or not first. So once it will identify, then only you get the results. Okay, this all process we are going to learn. How exactly we need to register everything we are going to learn. Okay, so here secure, there are some implementations. Okay, secrets we can store, and authentication authorization I told. Okay, SSL certification also comes in this way. So we always need to keep our secrets, keys, everything. We have a solution called Key Vault. So what this Key Vault will do, it holds the sensitive information. It doesn't give access to everyone. Okay, so we can call in the Azure function. For example, you stored an connection string of Cosmos DB. Okay, think like that. If you are storing inside the app settings, what happens? Like everyone will see. So we should not do that one because we are hosting that particular environment in some other location. We should not expose our credentials to them because they may do something to that. So for that, we are going to use a key vault. What key vault will do? It will key value pair. It's a think like it's a dictionary. Key value will be there. Key should be unique. Value you can give anything. Okay, it's a dictionary type of. It's a DB only. Okay, key vault is a DB. It's a key value DB. That's why we call key vault. It's like a key vault. We save something. And we are going to learn here like how exactly call the key vault from the code and how to get the value from in our if you want to some information value by the key, you are going to call the information. How exactly we'll get the data we are going to learn here. So the fourth one is monitor, troubleshooting, optimize Azure solution. Okay, optimize Azure solution is a one key thing. Okay, it's very important for cracking some interview or something to understand something. So everyone is looking for less money to make economical. Okay, basically. So for this monitor and troubleshoot, it's very important. Okay, so what Azure offers is like see, we have a caching mechanism, like it doesn't monitoring. Okay, so here in the monitoring solution, we have everything. Like for example, Azure function is there. Azure function is paid. Okay, what people suddenly, if they want to react, is like they will go, will write an logs. Okay, we'll go to logs and we'll search. So that is a in the previous like it's a old way, pretty old way. Like you write the logs and we'll go you'll find that particular thing, and it's a old school. Actually, now the things are different. Okay, in Azure function, you can write the logs, or you can the Azure function alone writes the logs. Okay, it's all stored in the Azure App Insights. Okay, Azure App Insights. Inside that one, like App Insights store the information of when the Azure function started, when the process started, all the things. Like in the Azure Insights, App Insights, we can query the insights also. We can query the logs. Okay, what time that language is called KQL. I'll explain about KQL also, but that doesn't comes under AZ 204. But KQL is added advantage. It's if you learn that one, it's very easy to communicate with the logs. If you can write the simple trace something, trace a keyword and something, it will give the logs. So you'll find the logs and you can monitor it. And one more thing, you can alert also. You can put the alerts. Okay, something happens, you need to send a message to someone. That also you can learn here. And troubleshooting also is the troubleshooting. If something happens, you can see the lot of graphs, lot of data inside that one. Based on the data, you can take the decision. Okay, so and this not comes under this actually. So this comes under this. So logging, application insights, I told, monitoring, I told, alerts, web test, application insights. Okay, these are all the types of monitoring. So we are going to learn all this. Okay, so this is connect and consume third-party services. Okay, so for example, third-party connections, we have think like you need to connect Google Cloud to the Azure Cloud. So how we are going to connect it? So there is no there is no way to connect. So if you want to connect someone other than the Azure, so we are going to get the help of Logic Apps. So Logic App is the place, like it holds the connectors. There are a lot of connectors will be there, like HTTP connector will be there. Like if you send some email, you want to send some email to the third party service, you can send it. All the other than Azure, like if you are communicating with some other some other company, some other organization. So in that time, we are going to use the Logic Apps. It's not a coding. It's actually a code-free environment. You just drag and drop it, and in the portal only you are going to create an Logic App based and you can write a code also. Both ways are there. Okay, so this API management. So just we discussed like which are the APIs you are going to write. We need to give an environment like always prefer storing the hosting the environment in a way like it's a scalable. Okay, it's a scalable and it's a secure environment. So this is the APIM is the Azure API management. It's a place Azure offers is a fully fledged API management solution. Okay, so there you can scale it or you can authenticate it. Authentication also happens there. You can make security to that one. So all the things are there in the API. You can define the policies also, like how exactly happens, how the authentication, like how which identity provider it needs to take that particular validation. So these are the things are there in the API management. So we're going to learn that one. So this is event-based solutions. Actually, Azure offers event-based solution. Like some event happens, okay, some data happens. Like you consume something that is an event. Okay, for example, in Zomato, in Zomato you'll get notifications like the events will come. Okay, uh, some food, new food comes, like they will push the notification. Okay, that type of events. Some events, if you go click a function, that is also event. Okay, those events, and if you want to do something with that event, some business logic you need to implement. So then these are the solutions which are there provided by Azure Event Grid, Azure Event Hub, Azure Notification Hubs. So these are the things we are going to learn. So briefly, if I want to tell, Azure Notification Hub is like whenever you see the apps, some push notification will come in the banner. Okay, oh, Rohit, how are you? Something will come. Your auto is waiting for you, like that. So that is all comes under notification of that type of implementation we can do in the notification of. So the event grid is like if you click that ad, okay, if you click that ad, some event happens. That event connected to so many places. So that event we are going with the event grid. Event hub is like there are a lot of events is happening and a lot of communication happening. So event grid holds the information and it's a stateful in a sense the memory information will not fail. Even though it will fail, it will automatically re-trigger it. Okay, message based solution is like I already told you service bus. Okay, it's a queue storage service bus. It will host the queue. We are going to learn about dead letter queue. We are going to learn about means important techniques of using the Azure bus, service bus. Okay, so yeah, so this is what I wanted to. We were going to learn this class, like means these are features, one-on-one training, these things. For 40-hour class, it is the certification we are going to do is AZ204. It's like a more hands-on. Like we are going to. You need a hands-on actually. That is the important thing about here. Like we go understand the code, we understand, we create a function in the portal, and we'll get the function using the connection strings, and we'll host it. All the things like which are the things in the real project happens, we are going to learn the things, both theoretical and practical way. And once you get understand all those things, AZ 204 you can pass easily, and one more exam is there, like that is Azure Developer. So that is next exam. Once you pass this exam, so you need to pass one more exam is there, that is DP 400 something. I don't know that now, I forgot the number. That is Azure Developer. So that whatever the things, these are the basics. AZ 204 is the basics. That is advanced. Okay, deep of Azure functions, deep of the Cosmos DB, everything. So in this tutorial, I am planning to give both the covering of both Azure Developer as well as fundamentals of AZ204. Both the things I am covering using hands-on. We are going to learn, understand the things. Yeah, Rohit. Any
Okay.
questions, Rohit?
Yeah. So I had one question like, so there is a portal and you could also configure things from CLI as well as with
Yes.
the SDKs. So
Yes.
we'll be targeting all of them, or how
Yes,
would it be?
actually that doesn't comes under AZ204. Means if you want, there are a lot of ways to communicate with Azure. Okay, CLI is there, PowerShell is there. You can communicate with like cloud-based CLI is there, and ARM template is there. There are a lot of ways to communicate with create and response. Like that comes under Azure DevOps side, and that comes under Azure Developer exam, like certification. If you want, like I can teach you that also. That is not problem, but that doesn't come under this exam.
Acha. Okay.
Yeah, so I can teach you that also. That no worry, that is easy only. But
Okay.
different, if you want that, for example, CLI you need to learn. Again, that is different topic. Like there are so many things inside that one. AZ login, you need to manually log in everything. I can teach you that one. We can keep one session for miscellaneous as that.
Yeah. So which is that particular exam? DP? What you said?
Azure, one more is there. Like 1 second, I'll tell. Azure
Yeah.
Developer. Wait, okay, where? This one, Azure Developer Associate. Okay, so this is the exam.
I can't see that screen. I think only this one screen is being shared.
Okay, 1 second, I'm sharing.
Can you stop and reshare maybe?
Yeah, I'm sharing entire screen now. Yeah, I'm using Zoom first time.
Yes, this
Yeah,
is
so this is Microsoft Azure Developer Associate exam. This is 2 stars. Okay, the AZ204 is 1 star. Once you develop, this is the AZ204. Once you clear this exam, the next exam is this one, Azure Developer Associate. See, this is doesn't have a star. This does have a star, 2 stars,
Achha.
associate.
But this
And after
comes
this,
under 204 or it has a different number?
different number actually. That number, 1 second, I will tell what is that number.
I think there are two parts in AZ204 maybe.
Could be like I'm only seeing 204 only.
Oh,
Okay, AZ200, 201.
and like if you scroll down, just a minute. If you could scroll down, just scroll down, scroll. Wait, yeah, 204 equal to 200 plus 201. Achha.
Okay, maybe they
If you
merged.
would click that IntelliBand, yeah, that link, yeah.
Mhm. Like I'll
Achha.
tell you, like
Okay, that's
I'll
fine.
tell you,
That's
like
yeah.
developer associate. Is it initially it was called about the fundamentals of Azure computation solution. Previously, it was called about like that AZ204. So
Mhm.
now they have implemented different types. Means the what are the learning part is same, but the exam pattern is different now.
Hmm.
And do you know the exam pattern? Like there is a 700 marks question and 40 to 50 questions comes. We'll go for a mock. I'll give the mock test also. So we'll
Hmm.
understand. We'll solve together. We'll learn and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So any doubts regarding like you understood like what are the things we are going to
yeah.
learn?
With my major concern is how the authentication works and how that authentication could be implemented
Mm-hmm.
across multiple services,
Okay.
services talking to each other, or maybe let's say if application is part of a company which has an hybrid cloud as well as private cloud,
Mm-hmm.
and then they try to build an application that should work, how
Mm-hmm.
this authentication will come into picture and how those features could be accessed with
Yeah.
each other.
Okay. Yeah. In the authentication authorization, you are going to learn about Azure AD. We are
Uh,
going to learn all the things related, like if it is a different company, like a federated, we call it a federated accounts.
okay.
Federated accounts under your company accounts.
Okay.
So we are going to create a token for both the things. And
Okay.
if it is a multi-cloud environment also, if it is a
Uh,
Google Cloud
uh,
authentication techniques you already implemented, even though we can use in the AD.
Acha.
So we are going to I'm going to
Oh, that.
explain all the things. We are going to create
Uh,
so means how exactly the authentication in the real world, like how we are going to do that one. No worries. I'll
and
explain that.
right. So apart from this, I was just wanted to ask that what is the current work that you do, and
I'm a
how?
senior Azure developer. Like what I'll do is like using the Azure cloud solutions, I'm going to solve the problems. Like for example, if some scenario is there,
Uh,
our project, what current project is like, we are working in a, I work 2 project actually. One project is a built a social network. Okay,
Okay.
social network like Facebook, Instagram. So there are a lot of scenario will come. So in that scenario, we use the Azure functions for particular solution, and with so many things we use PaaS services, infrastructure as a service. We used all the things. So we connected third party also. So these are the things will there in a particular project. And my company project is like it's a scientific product. We are also using Azure solutions for that one to solve that one.
What do you do as in backend? Java, .NET?
I write code in C sharp only, like
Okay.
.NET. Yeah.
Okay, in .NET.
Uh,
Acha.
yeah. So you
Uh,
are a .NET, you are familiar with
.NET
C sharp
developer.
only,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
completely switch off.
Yeah. So then I also C sharp. No worries. Then we'll in the project while explaining means
Mm.
Azure function is a thing we can write in any language.
Right, right.
Yeah. So C sharp will continue with the work.
And how much experience do you have in teaching?
Teaching, I have 1 years actually, like uh, currently like paid teaching. Remaining, I used to previously I was teaching for my
Acha.
batchmates and interns, internal teaching only. That is every day 1 hour, 1.5 hour. I'll be giving the like kid like interns will come. Interns doesn't know the Azure cloud. Okay, so basically internally I'll be teaching for them. So apart
Uh,
from the company, I think almost 6 months to 1 year.
Acha, acha. I had two questions that were recently asked in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, if I can ask you that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that will actually just give me a clarity.
Sure, sure, sure. You can ask. You can ask.
So they were very basic question. It is just that I haven't used it to and that extent, so I was not able to answer them. So
Mm-hmm.
one question was, you are using an Azure function, and there are
Mm-hmm.
two functions. One
Mm-hmm.
function is already so you are calling first function, and this
Mm-hmm.
first function calls second function.
Yes,
Okay,
yes. Uh-huh.
your when you connected the first function, you had to authenticate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but is it required to authenticate in the second function as well? And if not,
Mm-hmm.
how could that be possible?
Yeah, so in that this is a scenario we can make use of a durable functions. Okay, what there are different mechanisms are there. The techniques you can talk about like a chaining. You what you told it's a chaining mechanism. Chaining
Mm,
mechanism is like one function output is the input for the next function. Okay,
Yeah.
think like you just gave two examples. In the real world scenario, there will be more like 10,
Uh,
20 functions.
uh,
One
uh,
function output is the input for the next function. In
right.
that situation, we are going to implement a durable functions. So
Okay.
durable functions, the orchestrator will be there
Mm,
and activity will be there. Like we call this as a activity, all these 10 functions as activity. So
mm,
orchestration will take care that one. Like the what happens, like when the input is will the output of the first function will go to the second function. This
mm,
activity is
mm,
done taken care by orchestrator. So there are a lot of scenario will come. Like if failure happens, think like failure
mm,
happens.
mm,
Failure happens, what you will do? It doesn't. You need to. It's a stateful. Okay, the in memory instances is stored.
mm,
So you no need to do. It's a retry option is there. So durable function will take care. So that authentication, what you told.
mm,
So in the beginning of the function, you are going to authenticate anyhow. Like the
uh,
function extend like HTTP triggered API will be
uh,
there. You
uh,
trigger with the
yeah.
token. So that
Mm,
token mechanism we are going to learn. Okay,
mm,
how to
mm,
implement to the function. So once you authenticate, the
mm.
orchestrator will take care of these things.
Okay, so the orchestrator is within this Azure functions.
Azure inside the Azure functions. That is called durable functions.
So if I break this down, so let's say I have two microservices and I have
Mhm.
a gateway. So gateway does the orchestration and internally it calls function one and
Mhm.
calls function two. But in other function, each function is represented as its own functionality.
Yeah, in the one function only
So,
we are writing all the implementation.
so this orchestration will sit over these two functions, or it is under the first function, this orchestration taking call to the second function.
No, orchestration is one single HTTP trigger. Like for any trigger it is. Like I'm talking about
Okay.
HTTP trigger. If you
Uh,
call that orchestrator, okay,
uh,
only you are calling one API. So
uh,
inside that one only, the lot of I means all the 10 functions activity input output is happening.
acha, acha,
That
okay,
that
okay.
particular I'll show that
Uh,
example also in the code. We'll write a code. The same thing you told, na? Function A, function B, function C. We'll write. that is called chaining mechanism.
Yeah, yeah. And second question is, it is really easy, but I haven't used APIM. So
Okay.
what they ask is, once you have an application that you host in APIM, what are the good or real-time examples where you will represent the inbound, outbound, and exception policy?
Okay, so yeah,
Are the policies
inbound.
or they are
Yeah, people actually ask about policies. Okay, inbound policy, outbound.
well, this examples?
Yeah, so in APIM, inbound policy, outbound policy, people are going to ask because that is important. Why important? Because the authentication, authorization, both will happen there. So in the inbound policy, outbound policy, it's like a inbound policy. It's simple. Inbound is whenever API is hitting, means it's a door, someone is opening. That is inbound. Outbound is whenever the someone is going out. So that policy will run like that. This is inbound and outbound. Inbound, for example, inbound, what are the situation comes, authentication comes, like the token will hit, like from the client, from the front end, back end. If you call the API, yeah, bearer token will come. So bearer token will come. What should bearer token will do? Okay, APIM doesn't know that. So for that, we are going to write a policy. Okay, that in the policy, inbound policy, we are going to write like if it is comes, if bearer token will come, we are going to authenticate with the authentication provider. Who is the authentication provider for us? Azure AD. Azure AD will authenticate that API. Okay, token. Okay, this is the right user. You can give. If it is a not right user, we are going to give the else statement. Something 401 unauthorized user. So
Yeah,
all these policies will comes under inbound. Outbound is like whenever you the situation comes in the output of the like leaving the response stage. So if you want something, then you can write the policy in the outbound. Okay, this comes actually like a not in 204, so it's a fundamental. But if you want the clarity, we can explain that also. That doesn't
yeah,
this all topic will cover under authorization authentication. No
yeah.
worries.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that is all I had.
Okay, so yeah, clear. I think that.
Yes, we just have to talk about the batch. So I have 20 to 30 days. I'm on notice period.
Mm-hmm.
Later, I'll join a new company where I might get occupied. But this 20, 30 days, I'm quite free
Mm-hmm.
to take up the session, do the background study, come up with hands-on training, and then ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
So as much time I could utilize, this is good time now. Uh,
Okay.
so daily batches are also
So
fine with me.
can you tell the deadline? Like if you give the end date, we can
Hmm.
finish up from there.
So today's 15, so until next 15, I think we can do it.
Next month, 15th.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
actually, this week, like 8 from 9 to 15. Actually, I'm going for new company. It's a Siemens as a senior Azure developer. Like I'm joining date is 17th. Okay, so this week I'm going for trip. I'm 8th. Actually, can we finish by 8th?
uh, 8th of July, right?
Yeah, 8th. 7th we can finish. 7th.
Yeah, yeah, that is also fine with me.
One,
Early,
two,
fine.
three,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7 plus 7. Okay, almost 20 days is enough actually.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
20 like 40 hours. We can complete it 30 means 7th. Yeah, take a 7th June.
Mm.
We'll finish up.
That
Uh,
is fine. So from 15th to 7th of July.
yes, yes. Today we will give a brief. So 7th we'll finish up and we'll understand whatever the things you're going to
That is
do in
fine.
that
That
day.
is fine with me.
Okay, fine, fine. So any other questions? Means what
Uh,
timings is it? What timings you like? Means because my
Early morning
office
also
starts
fine.
from early morning is good for me also because
Yeah.
my office starts at 9:30.
Mhm.
We can connect at 8 to 9:15.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, we'll connect in Zoom only then.
Yeah, that is okay with me. Yes.
Okay, you installed .NET, this Visual Studio, right? Like you have installed.
I have a new laptop. My old laptop did had. I'll have to just check with all the frameworks that. So I have a new Visual Studio with .NET Core 6.0. I will
Okay.
have to just check if everything is running fine or not. It is just a new laptop that I bought.
Okay, fine, no, fine. Okay, you just install what are the coding environment required, like a .NET 6 and this one Visual Studio,
Yeah.
and you have a credit card, huh? Like
Yeah. I have an Azure account that I registered earlier. I
okay,
utilized 10 days out of the 30 days. I would have to just check if it is still free or if is there any account that Ganesh might provide for learning purpose.
okay. So you then fine. Everything is set up then. Like we need account, we need a Visual Studio. That's it.
Yeah.
We can plan for it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
the syllabus
Completely.
means syllabus is same. Not are the
Yeah.
told this one. We are going to learn both in practical and theoretical.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fine. That's it. Yeah, Ganesh,
Uh,
actually, we are good.
yeah.
Hello, Ganesh.
Yeah. Hi, Ganesh. Yeah. Maybe he's on the call.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
I think
Anything is
we
right?
can wind up and then speak to Ganesh individually if he's busy. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
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 You are from Rohit, like you are from
Mumbai. Mumbai.
Mumbai. Okay,
Mumbai.
fine. Means the speed which I am talking is okay, or you can
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Absolutely fine. See, the understanding part I could catch on really quick. It is just new things that initially might seems new.
Mhm.
Uh, but I'll ask as many questions as I can.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So you can clear off the questions. We can finish
Yeah.
understand the things properly.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, Rohit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.